Hey everybody, I'm really excited about this video today. I have been thinking about this subject for a long time. I've never quite been able to express it in a way that I'd like. So I want to get into this verse today, which is going to be Proverbs 14 verse 30. But I'm not going to read it right away. I want to build it up a little bit here first. So I've often wondered about what the Bible teaches us about ambition. Now, there's a couple things to look at here. In the New Testament, you have places that warn us against what it calls selfish ambition, right? What it calls about just neglecting the things of God and seeking for yourself. There's Jeremiah 45, where Jeremiah tells Baruch, "Do you seek great things for yourself? Seek them not." And we know that there's an important lesson in the New Testament about being humble and being content with what you're given, right? But I'm a young man. I'm a church planner, and I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say that I have those ambitious desires in my heart, and I have this drive to want to do well and to want to work hard and to see what I can make of things. And I've often wondered, how does that play with Scripture? Is that something that I just need to totally suppress? And if that's what the Word says, then I'm open to doing that. Or is there a place for opening this up? Because you look at places in the Bible like the book of Genesis, for example. God sent Adam and he said, go out, be fruitful, go multiply, go make something of the world that I've given to you. We've been reading through Proverbs about how often it talks about working hard and making something and providing for yourself and even prospering. And so you have these two things here, and figuring out the balance has always been difficult for me, and I'm sure it might be for you too. Well, it was this verse that we're going to read here today that isn't even really about that clicked in my brain. And this might seem painfully obvious to some of y'all, but we're going to look at what the Bible has to say about the proper role of ambition in a Christian's life. So let's read Proverbs chapter 14, verse 30. A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. I mean, on the surface of this, it's about contentment, right? Paul said, I've learned whatever state I am in, therewith to be content. And he says, a tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, and envy makes the bones rot. So if you're tranquil, he's saying that it's better for you. And we even know this medically, right? That, if you're calm and you're relaxed, you live longer. Your blood pressure's lower. Your life expectancy increases. But envy and bitterness, not only does it damage you psychologically, but he says it makes the bones rot. It can increase risk of other kinds of diseases and all that. And I'm certainly no expert, so it's just, popular knowledge as I understand it. But there's a spiritual thing going on here. A tranquil heart, as opposed to what? Envy. So tranquil just means composed, and it can mean quiet, and it can even mean passive in a negative sense. But this is contrasted with envy. Envy, of course, is desiring what somebody else has. Tranquility in this verse, then, specifically is talking about the opposite of that, which is being happy with what you have. Not envying, not coveting, not lusting after what you do not have. And this is a remarkable verse that lays it out very plainly for me. How does this apply to ambition? Well, as I said, there's two things the Bible teaches us. That's four, but two things that the Bible teaches us. Number one is that the Lord desires us to work hard, to do our best, to enjoy what he blesses us with, and to get out in the world that he's made and make something out of it. That's biblical, right? And especially as we apply that to the church, as you apply it to your business. Jesus said those people in the world, they're shrewd with their own businesses. We ought to have a little of that same shrewdness and effort toward the things of God. So that's in there. But there's all those other things that I talked about too, which are about not being selfishly ambitious, not being selfish and pushing other people down and be greedy for gain, right? The Bible uses that. So how do we tie these two things together? I think it's this verse right here. Tranquility, being content with what you have, and envy, being desiring what you don't have. What's the lesson here? It's about the motivation of your ambition. If you want to do well in whatever domain, whether that's work or your relationship or your body and exercise, right? Whatever, it might be creative endeavors. If you want to do well for the sake of doing well, as unto the Lord, saying, I want to leverage the best of my skills, the best of my body and my mind and my heart and all the rest of it, and make something great and do something well and enjoy a blessing from God, that's awesome. But the minute it becomes about envy, I need a bigger house. I need a bigger car. Not because it means I've succeeded, and not because I like cars or big houses, but because it's a sign of status. And I look at the people that have those things and I don't have them, and I get envious and I need to beat them. right? There are some folks that are really talented at things, but their motivation is off, and so they're no good at it eventually. Let me give you an example. Everybody wants to have what rich and famous singers have. You want to be on stage, you want to be popular, you want to be loved. Everybody wants that. But if you don't love the music, it's just going to be miserable for you, right? Chasing that dream, you're going to view the music as a side thing. It's just pushed to the side. It's what I got to do to get here. You're doing it out of envy, and so it becomes a carnal thing to engage in something, even if you're going to be successful and good at it. Money is the obvious one too, right? Nothing wrong with having money. We've looked at that over and over again. But there is a problem with being envious. You're poor, and you see people that have more than you, and let's just be honest. Sometimes rich folks can be condescending. They can look down on folks that have less than them, and that burns you up. And you go, I'll show all them. And that becomes your motivation. You're not tranquil. You're not content with what you have. Job was poor. Job lost everything. But Job, even when he lost everything, he said, shall we receive good from the Lord and not evil? Blessed be the name of the Lord. And he did not sin with his mouth. This is what it boils down to. If you can be content with where God has placed you and what God sees fit to give you, if you can learn to love the process, right? The process of growing your business, the process of working on that relationship, the process of creative endeavor and athletic competition, the process of even making money, to do it because you love life and you're happy with what God's given you and you're pursuing the things that you want, but you're doing it in a godly way, you're not letting it eat you up, then the Lord endorses your ambition. Go out and do well. If you want to play football, then get in there and work hard and do great, but don't let your whole life become wrapped up in that. And certainly don't do it out of a motivation that is sinful and envious and covetous. And I need this. I need to win. I need to be better. You've got to let the Lord teach you, because as we've seen in Solomon's words over and over again, you have no control over how these things are going to turn out. Use the football analogy. You blow out your knee. Now what? Right? Your business fails through a pandemic that affects everybody. Now what? You've built everything around that and you've got nothing left. But if you build those things up tranquilly through the godly ambition that wants to do well, as Paul says, do all things heartily as unto the Lord, right? If you do it that way, even if it does fail, you're like, all right, I loved the process and I love my Jesus, so I'm going to keep going. And this doesn't mean that we get emotionally involved, or we don't get emotionally involved in these things, that you don't care, that it doesn't hurt when you fail, that you don't get excited and celebrate when you win. And there's nothing wrong with going off and taking a victory lap sometimes. But you've got to remember this verse right here, Proverbs 14:30, a tranquil heart, being content with what comes, will give life to your flesh, but envy will rot your bones. And if you're only ambitious because you want to be on top, and you're selfish, and you're covetous, and you want everybody to worship you and love you, not only is it going to be probably a failure, you're not going to enjoy the process, and it's going to make your bones rot. We see this all the time, right? Rich folks, celebrities, athletes, politicians talk about how I got here, and now there's nothing worth living for. They don't all say that. And not every poor person is miserable in their situation, because it's separate from the actual act of climbing the ladder itself. So this was enlightening to me. It might seem real basic for you, but I hope especially for some of you who are working hard, maybe some of you young guys that are trying to build something for yourself, and maybe you've been made to feel bad about it in the church, made to feel bad like you shouldn't want that. You shouldn't want more for yourself. You shouldn't want to have a nice house. You shouldn't want to have a great relationship. You shouldn't want to, whatever the thing is. Well, there's yes and no. The yes part of it is the Lord has said, do all things heartily, do all things well, work hard, prosper. That's all in the book of Proverbs, Genesis, Philippians, it's everywhere. And then also, there's the negative side, which is if you're doing it for yourself because you want to puff yourself up and you want to be known and you want to be famous and you don't really care if God gets the glory or not, and you're doing it out of envy, then no, you shouldn't feel that way. So allow the Lord to recalibrate your heart. And when you do that, you might realize a lot of these things I've been chasing and thinking I want, I actually don't. I'm doing it because of thinking about them, not even about my family or myself, right? I'm not even being selfish. I'm just thinking about them. I'm letting other people dictate what I want. So this has gone on a little longer, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. But is there a godly place for ambition? Yes. As long as God is at the center, you're doing it because you love it and because you enjoy it, and it's not a sinful thing, and because you want to make something great out of the life that's given to you. God loves to see his people do well. But if you're chasing it out of envy and covetousness, then yeah, don't be surprised if God takes it away from you. Don't be surprised if you don't enjoy it, and don't be surprised if it all collapses, or you get there and it turns out it's not what you thought it was going to be. God bless you guys. Proverbs 14:30. Think about it today. Go about your job, do well, work hard, dream, right? Daydream, think big, but make sure you put it all under the subjection of Jesus Christ and his Holy Spirit. God bless y'all.